Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I just want to share with you guys, and this message, we received it via our WhatsApp number. The message reads like this: Hello my brother, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a young South African woman and I am a mother of one girl. So my brother, I used to stay at my parents' house. This was soon after matric. So there were a lot of guys that were coming from different countries that were staying in our community. My mom, she then opened up a fruit and veggie market, and she operated this market for a very long time. So what I'll do is that from school, then I would have to switch the roles with my mom so that she can get into the house and she can have a little bit of resting, since like when we would be at school, my mom, she will be the one that will be doing all of the work there at the fruit and veggie. And we even had a small spaza shop. But my brother, the story that I want to share with you, it is about this other guy. So this guy, he used to come almost on a daily basis into our community. I never knew where he was staying. Like when he started coming into our community, all that I saw was that this guy, he had a very beautiful car and he was handsome as well. So this guy, whenever he used to come, he would pass through our place. It seemed as if there was this other girl that he was dating in our community. Anyway, I was just minding my own business, but this guy, each time that he would pass through our house, he would always smile at me, and each and every time that he would smile at me, I would even feel like my heart was always skipping a bit. But this guy, since I had heard that he was a foreign guy, I was not into dating foreign guys. Anyway, this guy, what he started doing is that whenever he would come into our community, he would always buy airtime, and I never understood how come he always bought so much airtime, because each and every time that he would be coming, he would always buy airtime for something like 200 or 300 rands. Each and every time that he would come to buy airtime, I knew that he would buy all the airtime that we had in stock. So one day I then got the nerves, because I was really even embarrassed to look at him directly into his eyes because of the way that I was now feeling for him. I was like in love with him, but I didn't want to show him that I was in love with him. I wanted him to approach me first. So one day I asked him and I said, so what do you do with all the airtime that you always buy? Do you have something like a shop or what? He then laughed and he said, no, I do not have a shop. The reason why I have been buying all of this airtime, it is because I am trying to assist your mom's business, like just making sure that I can just support her, and this is a way of me supporting her. I then said, so with all the airtime that you are buying, are you using all of that airtime? Because that is just too much. He said, no, all my phones that I have, they are on contract. So whenever I buy this airtime, I just donate the airtime to other people. So he was saying that he can just meet someone like along the way, then he can just give that person a lift, and after he had given that person the lift, he would just give the person something like the 100 rand airtime or whatever. So this was strange to me, like why would someone go to such an extra length as to buying airtime, supporting my mom's business, then after that donating the airtime to other strangers that you didn't even know? So me and this guy, we kept on talking until finally one day he asked for my numbers. We then exchanged numbers and we kept on talking, and he told me that he wanted to go out with me, but he could not go out with me, but he wanted to groom me first. He said that I had to look classy first, because most of his friends, they were really classy. So this guy, what he did is that he gave me a lot of money. This was like the first time in my life for a guy to give me money that was above like 2k. And when he gave me this 2k, he said that I want you to use all of this money. I want you to go out there, have your nails done as well as your hair done. As for something that you're going to be wearing for our date, I am going to bring it for you. So as someone who was already a single mom, and knowing that my mom, she was struggling as well because she was a single mom, I then gave my mom 1.5k. Then I just took 500. That is the money that I used to have my hair done, and just a little bit of the nails, but they were your cheap nails. This guy, I don't know how he even got to know about this, because on that same day when I had returned back from the hair salon, he told me that the style that I had on my head, it was not that fancy. Mind you, this was in those days whereby there was no such a thing like video calling. All that you could do was like send each other videos, and I didn't even send him a video or what, but he ended up knowing that I had a new hairstyle as well as the nails that were done on me. They were kind of like fake. How he got to know about this at that time, I didn't even know. But later on, when I was dating him, that was when I realized that this guy, he had something that seemed to be more like a monitoring spirit that he had. Anyone that was using his money, he was having that monitoring spirit, like where his money is at, then the money will be reporting back to him. So since my mom had that money in the house, then the money had that monitoring spirit, and the money was reporting back to him everything that it was seeing in my mom's home. Then that guy told me that we could not go out like that. On that same night, the man came and he picked me up and he took me to this very expensive hair salon. You know, those kind of hair salon whereby they close somewhere around 12 midnight, like your most expensive hair salon. When I got there, I saw that everyone that was there, they were really people that had their own money. Even for the women, you could see that this is real class, and that was the class that this man had told me about. It was the first time for me to have my hair done in such a way, and for my nails to be done also in such a way. After that, I was given a little bit of a massage. Coming out of that hair salon, I was head over heels over this guy. All that I wanted was for him to take me to bed, but this guy, he was not even in a rush, even though he saw that I was in a rush, because I wanted to secure the deal. I didn't want to lose this guy. The thought of me never wanting to date a foreigner, immediately it had disappeared. I then said that, so this is what I have been missing all of these years. This guy, it felt like he knew everything that I was thinking about, because he would just casually mention like the things that I'll be thinking about, and he would say there is always a place and a time for everything, my dear. He then returned me back to the place where I was staying, and when he returned me back, he just gave me a little kiss, and he said that we had to wait for the day, and the day was going to come anyway. So on the day when we were supposed to go on our date, he told me that he could not come and collect me, so he was going to send someone who would be driving his car. If I had thought that the car that he used to come with in our location was a beautiful car, well, I was very wrong. This time around, when he sent that person to come and pick me up, it was those luxury two-door cars, the one that has a roof that can open up. That was the car that came and picked me up, and I was really looking nice for the date. I was taken to that restaurant where me and him, we had so much fun. When the evening came, he said that he wanted to go with me to his place so that he can show me his place. And I was like, yeah, I have been waiting for you to tell me this. I want to see where you stay, my guy. We went there, my brother. And when we went to his sort of like a house that looks more like a palace, I was shocked, but because I saw that there were two more girls that were staying with him. I asked him what were these girls doing, and he told me that these were his ex-girlfriends. Can you even believe it? And I then said, so if they are ex-girlfriends, what are they doing in your house? He said that these girls, after he had dumped them, they begged him and they were like, can you please just let me stay at your place? this was really weird for me. By the time that me and him, we were in his bedroom, I could not even concentrate on anything because I kept on thinking about this weird thing that I had never thought was even imaginable. How could even be something that can be possible for you to stay with two of your girlfriends, even if they say that you are very wealthy and women love money? But is it even possible that two women can be that desperate to stay with a guy that dumped them? And now he was bringing me into that same picture. When I was in his bedroom, he selected this other nightgown and he told me that I had to wear that nightgown. I then later found out that this nightgown that he had given me, it once belonged to one of his wife, like his first South African wife that he had ever gotten married to when he came here to South Africa. So this wife, the way that she passed away, she threw herself on the balcony, and people were saying that it was like when she threw herself over the balcony, even though she was all alone in the house with her 2-month-old baby, it was like she had seen something that had scared her to death, and the only way to escape this thing that was quite scary, it was by jumping through the balcony. Even the day when I got to see her diary that was hidden in that man's bedroom, I just ran away with my life. The other things that this man will do is that when you would be sleeping with me, I never felt anything, but when I was now asleep as well as when he was asleep, that was when I would have a dream, and in my dream I would see a snake. This snake, the way that it would do, it would come out of this other closet. I would properly see this snake like I was seeing this snake in reality. It would come to the bed where we would be. Then the snake would actually get underneath the blankets, and I'll start making love to that snake. And when I would wake up, my brother, I would see that this man, who is now my boyfriend, who would be sleeping right next to me, his manhood would be like it was getting ready to make love to a woman, but he would be fast asleep. Even if you were to try to wake him up, like what, you would never wake up. By the time that his manhood, like it will go down, that is when he would wake up. And when he would wake up, he would start complaining, and he would say that, why did you wake me up when I was fast asleep? The way that he would wake up and start insulting you, it will be like you won't have any courage like to tell him that this is what I saw in my dreams, and when I woke up, this is what I saw your manhood doing. And sometimes, like if you would look at his manhood, you could actually see the skin on his manhood moving up and down. This man, he was not like circumcised, so this man, when you would be fast asleep, like that skin that covers his manhood, you could actually see it moving up and down. I don't know if there was someone that will be playing with his manhood or what. This is what I saw when I was dating this guy. With time, I started to experience so much pain that I had never experienced in my life. Each and every month, when it would be time for me to go on my MP, I would know that my time for suffering, it has arrived. And on the day that I would go on my MP, I could actually know, like in the afternoon, underneath my foot, I would feel like there will be someone that will be stabbing me with some needles. And later in the evening, then the pain will start. The pain will be too much that I will never even, the pain will just be too much, and for me to walk, it will be very difficult, so much that when I will be walking, I would have to walk like I will be bent a little bit, so that the pain that will be inside my stomach will be a little bit better. Immediately when I started to experience all of this pain each and every month, that was when this guy suddenly disappeared out of my life. And at the place where you were staying, you could not even actually go there, like just show up at his doorstep, because there was a lot of community forum police whereby they make sure that when you are walking around that area, there is always someone that would come to you and ask you what you are doing in that neighborhood. And if you do not have any explanation, they will tell you to leave that neighborhood like immediately. So for me to go and show up at his house, it was quite difficult. I had tried once, and when I went there, immediately there was a community police that came and asked me where I was going. I told them exactly where I was going. Then they called the guy, and the guy, to my surprise, said that he does not even know me. I said, hey, how can you say this guy does not know me? Yet I used to come and sleep at his place. I tried to explain my situation to them, but they told me that they were asking me like in peace to leave that area, otherwise they were going to have me arrested for trespassing in their community. I then returned back home, my brother, and for years I struggled with this pain. Like each and every month, the pain would always come back and I would struggle a lot. It was only after my mom had taken me to this other church, and at that church they prepared that tea that they prepare for their congregants, and after I had started drinking that tea, that was when I started feeling better. But it took me almost like a year again, just suffering from the same pain. But the prophets in that church, they said that I should not stop drinking whatever they would prepare for me. With time, my brother, I think that my womb, it then returned back to normal, because I was now having normal periods. Even like now, I can actually have normal periods. But when I was dating that guy, sometimes you could actually think that maybe I had a miscarriage, because when I would be on my periods, when I would look at my sanitary pads, you could actually see blood. But this blood, the way that it used to come out, it won't come out like red, and it was not a normal flow. It would be like in blocks and blocks of blood, and these blocks of blood, they will be black in color. This only stopped after that guy stopped talking to me, and I do not even know what happened to those other two of his ex-girlfriends. I don't know if this guy was using some charms on them so that they won't think properly, or what was happening to them. This guy, my brother, even though at that time when I was dating him, he said that he was 46 years old, but the way that he was so handsome, you could actually think that maybe the guy was in his 30 or to 36 years, somewhere there. I only got to know that he was much older when I had seen some of his documentation in his house. I am even worried, like, what did the wife saw at the time, like when she jumped out of the balcony? I just wonder what she saw, what made her to think of leaving her small baby like that and just committing suicide. My brother, this is my own story. I just want the young ladies to be very careful. When you see a guy like having money, you need to investigate before the money that he has start attracting you. That is my confession, my brother.